I'm a dude, and I'm inviting you to join me on a podcast about brews.
Does that include stouts?
Yes, of course it includes stouts. Like I was saying, join us every Saturday on the journey into...
Wait a minute. Do you guys do anything about like IPAs?
Yes,
like that?
yes, we do IPAs.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway, join us on the Journey into Comics Network for Brews with Dudes.
Whoa, hey, have you guys ever... Do you care if I bring some Zima on?
Yes, I care if you bring Zima. Zima doesn't count. Zima's... Dr. Dongo. Anyway, join us every Saturday for a podcast that delves into the craft brew world.
The following
is a journey into comics.
Journey into comics.
It's a journey into comics.
Journey into comics.
Journey into Comics.
Network.
Production.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 7, I believe, of Kids for Sale podcast. I'm your host, Chris. With me, as always, is my beautiful wife, Ashley. Say hello. Into the mic.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Why?
Just being polite, I guess.
It's not normal.
We're off to a good start already. Well, today's episode, we'll start off with a recap. I have not discussed with Ashley what our topic for the day is going to be. I'm going to spring it on her at the last second. So before we get into that, let's recap the last couple of weeks. What have we been up to? What's been happening? I know in the last episode we discussed a little bit that Mark has started football, and that's still going pretty good. He had his first game over the weekend, and they won 26-0. And he was doing actually pretty good. He laid out. He's an offensive lineman, and he put out a couple of really good blocks, which I was surprised because Mark is not an aggressive kid at all. People don't see you shaking your head. You got to talk. But yeah, he's not an aggressive kid. In fact, he's kind of soft, I guess you could say.
Just like his dad.
So, I mean, that was one of my biggest concerns going into the football season was whether he was going to take to the contact sport or not. And I mean, so far he's absolutely not the most aggressive kid on the team, but they're working on him, and I think he's doing a lot better already than he was when they first started. He's getting more into the warm-ups too, so he's getting better at running. Like when they first started practice, they'd have to run a lap out to the quote-unquote fire hydrant, which we'll save that one for another time. We won't talk about that right now. There's a fire hydrant on the field. They have to run a lap to it. They'll just leave it at that. You mind turning your phone off while we're recording a podcast?
Why? Then I won't know when my boyfriend's texting me.
Yeah, no kidding. So they have to run laps. And for the first few practices, Mark was almost always the very last kid to get to the fire hydrant and the very last kid to get back. And it was by a pretty substantial amount, too, because Mark is not much of a runner. But we watched him run his lap to the fire hydrant today with the rest of the team. And he was in about the middle of the pack today. Like he was putting a lot more effort into it. He ran the whole way there, ran the whole way back. Didn't start walking until like his last couple steps. So he's just in the first few weeks of football, he's already made leaps and bounds, I guess you could say. And he's getting better. So that's good, right? Although the football game was hot. And the one this Sunday is supposed to be even hotter, so I'm not looking forward to that. I guess here's a little tip. We bought at the Dick's Sporting Goods store. We purchased a 10 by 10 like easy collapsing tent, and that thing has already been worth its money. I mean, we've used it at baseball games over the summer, and
It's easy to set up, easy to take down.
Yeah, it's super. I mean, with one person can even put it up. It's kind of a pain for one person to put it up, but it can be done. But with two people, you have the thing up in, I wouldn't even say 5 minutes. By the time you get it out of the bag, you could have it up in probably a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Real easy, real easy. I highly recommend it. We got it on sale for I think $40, marked down from like 60 or something. So, but worth every penny. And it's pretty durable, so it should last us for a few sports seasons, I hope.
Yeah, probably more like a week.
Yeah, well, the chairs that we bought at the same time as the tent, one of them's already broken. The one that I get to sit in every time.
What are you talking about? I sat in it when it broke. Which, I wish I hadn't said that.
Well, no, it's not like you broke it. The screws popped out of the back that hold the canvas, and then now that nothing was holding the canvas, it just ripped through the material. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The tent is a good investment if your kids are playing outdoor sports, and I'm sure we're going to be putting it up on the side of the soccer field too this season. The girls, actually, that rolls right into our next subject, soccer. The girls are Livy and Scarlett are both on the Green Dinos soccer team. They get to play on the team together, which we thought was going to work out really nice. But so far, well,
it's been a freaking disaster.
Yeah. So practice one, Livy was sick, so Livy didn't come to the first practice. We got Scarlett out there, and she stood on the field and cried almost the entire hour of practice. So much to the point that about 55 minutes in, I couldn't take it anymore, and I just went in the field and grabbed her, and we got in the car and left. Because I kept telling her, look, you can either get out there and practice, or we can go home and you can go to bed. And those were the options. And then she would go out on the field, but then she would just stand there. And I said, no, you actually have to practice, or we're going to go home. And I feel like the whole time she was just calling my bluff. So, I mean, it took 50 minutes, but
Out of an hour.
I finally decided I was not bluffing anymore, and I went and grabbed her. We brought her home, and she went straight to bed that night. So, the next practice was a lot better, though. The second,
I had to get out there with her.
Yeah.
A minute to
Yeah.
get her to-
but then she eventually just started having fun and playing. The third practice, Livy finally showed up, but she wouldn't practice, and of course, that's when Scarlett just went out right away and did it. Livy was sitting by her mom the whole time, pretty much, and then she would come over by me for a few minutes, and I let her sit in my lap for just a couple minutes, and then I said, you know what? Here's what you can do. You can go out and practice with your team, or you can grab your soccer ball and come kick it around over here in the grass and at least practice kicking the ball. So I said, you're at soccer practice. It's not time to sit on my lap. It's time to practice soccer. So she kicked the ball around in the grass a little bit, and then finally, I'd say maybe like 10 minutes before practice ended, or 15 minutes, something like that, the kids were like running a lap around the outside edge of the field, and we were able to talk her into running the lap around the field with them. And then when she got back from running her lap, I just the coach put the kids in their positions out on the field, and they were playing for a few minutes, and I was able to convince her to go get in the goal, because they needed a goalie on the one side of the field. And she went and did it. And so that was a little victory, but then we had a big setback today. Today would have been her second practice, but instead of practice today, they had pictures, team pictures. And well, why don't you tell the story?
terrible.
I've been talking too much already.
Terrible.
Terrible. Well, tell us why it was terrible. Terrible.
Well, they had all the kids line up outside. It was at Oak Hill, which is an elementary school here in town. And they had them stand outside the gym in a line. Livy wouldn't get in line. Just stood by her mom, wouldn't get in line. So we kind of already knew where this was going to go. So we get out there. Livy comes in the gym, and I'm the only parent in there. They weren't really allowing parents in there, but I was able to sneak in. So I had Livy by me. I'm trying to convince her to take pictures. She wouldn't take pictures. She wouldn't stand in line, nothing. So all the kids are lining up. They're all taking their pictures. Livy still won't get in line. I asked her, if your mom comes, will you take your picture? She said, yeah. So I went and got her mom, and then she still wouldn't take pictures. She was the last one, and her mom could not get her to just stand there and take a picture, and she was it was a nightmare. And then the whole team took a picture. She couldn't get her to stand in there. She was even kind of standing right next to Livy and then kind of sneaking out of the picture at the last minute. And that's how they got her to take a picture. But everyone else is sitting on a bench while she is kind of off to the side with her hands over her face. So it's going to be interesting to see what that picture is. And then she was finally able to go get her to take an individual picture. It was just, I had a headache.
Another frustrating part of it was that I don't know if this has been something that the sports have allowed for a while, but we wanted to get what they call a buddy picture. Since Scarlett and Livy are both on the same team, we wanted to get a picture of them two together, in their uniforms. And we got a really nice one of Mark and Scarlett when they were in baseball. Even though they weren't on the same team, we were allowed to get them both in their uniform to take a real nice professional picture. And it came out really well. It was really cute. And we were hoping to get that with Livy and Scarlett this time. And barely got Livy to take any pictures, so we didn't try.
She's in that picture frowning.
Yeah, we didn't try to push it, so we missed out on the buddy picture. I'm a little bummed about that, but I wish we had some good advice on what to do if your kids don't take pictures, because I went through the same thing with Mark when he was Livy's age. And actually, I think even when me and you first got together, Mark wasn't all that good at taking pictures, was he? No. So, we went through this with Mark, went through this with Livy. Scarlett's been okay for most of her pictures. Occasionally, she freaked out about, getting pictures with the Easter Bunny a couple of times. But I don't know if that wasn't so much the photography part of it. I just don't think she wanted to go see the Easter Bunny.
Yeah.
But yeah, if any of the other parents listening to the podcast have tips or anything, send them to us. We'd be happy to discuss them. Because the worst part of it is it's not so much for me anyway. It's not so much the frustration of. You kind of look forward to getting those pictures. And then when they don't cooperate, then you're not going to get a good one. But the other thing that's frustrating is seeing all the other kids, the same age, just line right up, smile. It doesn't even faze them. And then you're just wondering, what did I do wrong that they hate the pictures so much?
Livy's always like that. She has to be in a good mood to take pictures.
She has to be in a good mood to get her to do anything.
Well, when you let her get away with whatever she wants.
Yeah, I know. She's a brat. She does get away with everything. But But this goes back to the same, the tantrum issue that we've already discussed at length. It's even when we don't let her get what she wants, I don't know.
We figured out a way to deal with that.
Yeah, and it has worked a couple of times now. I did it once with her, and Ashley did it the one time that we talked about, and it worked. It works. You just got to get her to calm down. But then there's the moments like this, we didn't have time for her to have a meltdown tonight for the pictures. if she would have started having a meltdown, the photographers would have just said, "All right, forget it. We're going on to the next
I think
team."
part of it is just it's the precedent. Like, you let her know that she doesn't have to listen to you, then she's not going to listen to you when you tell her to go take pictures.
And I guess a frustrating part of it too is if one parent has already tried to crack down and then the other one doesn't, then all she has to do is go crawl into the one that lets her still get away with stuff. So,
Yeah, you.
yeah, I know. I'm not. I can't
Like, you
pass
ever
the
talk,
I
right?
was gonna say
Yeah.
I'm not entirely passing the buck.
No.
I know I'm guilty of it too. What else? So, soccer. Yes, first game on Saturday. I guess we
It'll be
can
interesting.
we can report on that next time.
The game's at 9 a.m, so if at least one of the kids don't participate, they're both getting locked in their rooms for the whole weekend. Is exactly what's going to happen, because I'm not getting up at probably, like, it's going to end up being like 7 a.m. to get them all dressed and
Get 'em,
fed.
have breakfast and everything.
I will kill them.
And then we have a game of marks on Sunday. So our weekend's just full of sports.
And I kind of want to shoot myself.
Um,
Why do we have to be good parents who want our children to do things?
well, the idea to me was to get them out of our hair for a little while, but instead we end up having to go to the practices and watch
Right.
them. And,
Yeah, what would you ever think of getting them out of our hair?
so when I was growing up, I don't remember my parents sitting at practice while I was practicing. I remember getting dropped off and picked up. And I could be wrong. I maybe my mom sat there and I just don't remember it. I don't know. Actually, that actually brings me to my next. This isn't really a topic, but a little aside. Tonight was kind of like a last minute episode again, because earlier in the week I was hoping I'd get my mom to come and do an episode with us. Maybe I shouldn't be mentioning this because I want that to be like our first guest, and maybe that should have been like a surprise who our first guest is.
I don't think anybody really cares.
No, I don't think enough people are listening to actually care that. Hey, Chris's mom, man, I better hear that one. Actually,
Larry would love
I was
it.
gonna say a few people would probably be really stoked that my mom's gonna record an episode with us. Like, if Andy Reid's listening to this right now, keep tuning in. In a couple episodes, you can listen to her like live on a microphone.
Does he
Live
even
on
know
mic.
your mom? Or does he just see her talking crap on Facebook?
No, that's it. When I recorded his podcast a few months back, it was around Mother's Day, and I mentioned that I forgot to.
Oh yeah.
So then
remember
we were talking about my mom on his podcast and how she just rips into me all the time on Facebook and how it's kind of funny. So he friended her on
all the women
Facebook.
in your
and-
life do that.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, you didn't make it so easy.
So yeah, that's cool. The fair. I don't. I know
I think we talked about the fair.
we
already.
briefly discussed the fair when we went to the Frugal Friday thing. I already talked about Frugal Friday. Did we? I don't think we talked about the day that all three of us, or we took all three of
I
the
don't
kids.
know. When
though.
did we go to the fair, and when did we record our last podcast?
We recorded the podcast, I think, the day 2 days before we went to the fair with all three of the kids. We went to the fair once with Scarlett, and we talked about that already.
I mean, it was kind of uneventful anyway. It was actually good. So
Yeah,
not really to talk about.
that was what I wanted to talk about, was because we were talking about it like all doom and gloom, like it was gonna, be the worst idea ever, and actually it went pretty smooth. We had a really good time. The kids behaved for the most part. I mean, it was hot, so like we went through a lot of water that day. That's a good thing. The water. Make sure you bring bring your own water to the fair for one thing, and then all the
Yeah, but
stands.
whose idea was that?
I'm not taking credit for it. I'm just saying do it. My wife was so thoughtful. She packed a backpack with waters and stuff in it, and
Because I'm so smart.
so we went through all that water. Now, I saw a lot of people getting water out of the vending machines, which was like $2 or $3 a bottle or something, when there was plenty of stands selling bottles of water for $1. I was like, what are you doing, you morons? And I don't know. We found the one stand was like a CBD oil stand. They were selling the bigger bottles of water for $1. So if you go to the Lake County Fair next year, Lake County, Indiana,
I'm sure everybody will remember that.
look for the CBD oil stand and buy water from them.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Shut up. I'm trying to remember what else even happened that day. We got everybody wristbands.
Livy wanted to keep going on the scary ride.
Yeah, that tacky haunted house ride where you just sit in the little cart and it goes through a tunnel.
I really think like a lot of that stuff was just broken. You know, half of it there was nothing in there, but you could see props that just didn't do anything.
So it was a ride that went through a small building where the track was like sectioned off with like black tarps, pretty much were just hanging up, and like it was hot and it stunk in there. And you go around one corner and there's like a werewolf, but it's not even like, it's just like a werewolf mask on like a mannequin head.
Like,
and it was like vaguely lit up.
I feel like there was just a lot more that was supposed to happen, but just over the years it just broke and they didn't fix it.
And then I'm trying to think of what else. There was a skeleton that kind of popped out of a coffin.
Mm-hmm. And that was like it. I kept expecting like more.
Yeah, the rides...
Especially because Scarlett came out crying.
I mean, it wasn't a super long ride. I'd say maybe it lasted about 30, 45 seconds or something like that. Maybe it was longer. I don't remember. It felt like forever, though, because most of the time you're just looking at black tarps. But for some reason, Livy had to ride it. I think Livy rode it once with me and twice with you?
Twice with me, but she just closed her eyes throughout the whole thing. And then she wanted to ride it again just to close her eyes. I don't know.
Oh, the dog just farted.
Probably your breath.
So, what else did we ride? We had to talk Mark into going on the Ferris wheel, which I think that was just more
he just
of a...
didn't want to.
Yeah,
he
was just in a
then
mood.
He was acting like he was scared.
Yeah.
Kids love doing that. They say they're scared when they don't want to do something because they know they'll be able to get out of it.
We went on the little swings with the girls. You know, the swings that they go around in a circle and get you up in the air. And I thought that was really fun, actually.
Did Mark do that kind of stuff when he was younger? Or has he always been a scaredy cat?
Oh, pretending he was scared of everything?
No, yeah, kind of.
As long as I can remember, yeah.
Because I just kind of wonder, God damn, dog. Whew. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sounds
Yeah,
like she pooped.
our dog gets really bad gas. It's pretty nasty.
Because I'm just wondering... I'm just wondering if the girls are going to end up big like that. I'm plugging my nose because it really stinks.
Well, I mean, Scarlett already pulls that all the time. Whenever we ask her to do something that she doesn't want to do.
I'm talking about like...
Oh, my God.
Rides and stuff.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a bad one. That's a really bad one. No, but I know what you mean, but that's how it starts, though. Exactly the way Scarlett's doing it. If we ask her to go to bed, she complains, "Oh, I'm scared to go in my room."
Yeah, but it seemed like Mark actually was like scared to go on the swings and stuff. The Ferris wheel, I think, was just him just trying to get out of doing it because he wanted. Because it wasn't what he wanted to do.
But that's the thing is, I think Mark has been pulling that "I'm scared" routine for so long that he's finally convinced himself that he is scared of the things he says he's scared of.
Don't you just want to punch kids sometimes?
Why only sometimes?
Because sometimes they're cute.
Yeah. They were cute. You know, we got them talked down to 1 game each, and they actually all stuck to it. I could not believe that. After they all played their games, I thought they were going to whine and complain that, oh, I want to play another one. I want to get another
I think
prize.
by that time when they were all tired and they actually kind of did want to go home.
Yeah, we went on a Saturday morning. What?
Stop making that sound. Stop.
I'm scratching my chair. So we went on a Saturday morning, and they had, like, for the wristbands, they had 2 price options, and it was either $25 for an all-day wristband or a $15 from noon to 5 wristband. So we just tried to get there as close. We actually got there before noon so we could eat a little bit, and then, as soon as it hit noon, we went and got our wristbands and started doing rides. And with our 3 kids in particular, I mean, I can't speak for anybody else's kids, but I would assume that kids around the ages of our kids, 5 hours was like just the right amount of time. I mean, they were all kind of complaining when we were leaving that, oh, I wanted to do one more ride. But then they were all wiped when we got in the car. So, I mean, it ended up being the perfect amount of time, and we saved ourselves $50 that way because we didn't pay the $25 wristbands for 5 people. So, I mean, if that works for your family, by all means, I highly recommend it.
I feel like that's a new option, though, now that I feel like they have a new company. I feel like up until this year, they only had wristbands on certain days.
So all of the attractions at the fair this year seemed exactly the same as I remember.
Well, I mean, all the companies are going to have the same rides.
But management, it seemed like everything was way better managed than I've ever seen it before.
It's like the carnies were actually wearing, like, uniforms.
So I was going to say most of the carnies were not the typical what you would think of as carnies. The people operating the games were still those, like...
But they were actually wearing uniforms.
Those slick, toothless hillbillies. But the people operating the rides actually seemed like competent, and they seemed like college kids more than anything. And a lot of them had accents too. So I'm wondering if they had like the same kind of foreign exchange program that I don't know if we talked about that at all on the
I don't know
Wisconsin Dells episode. We noticed a lot of people with accents operating the water park when we were in the Dells, so we asked about it, and they have like a foreign exchange student program with the local college that gets them a job at the amusement parks around the Dells in exchange for housing and stuff. I think I don't know how it works. I think Disney does something similar. I'm guessing a lot of amusement park companies do that, but I'm starting to wonder if maybe the traveling amusement park companies are doing that as well, because like I said, a lot of them seemed like they had accents or like they didn't quite understand what you were asking them when you talked to them, which may also be why they weren't paying attention to the tickets the one night when we did talk about that, when you tried to scam the carnies.
It's not scamming. If it's not like I had a fake ticket. That's not a scam.
It's a scam if you are going out of your way.
If they aren't checking tickets, why is it a scam to not give him a ticket if he's not checking for him anyway? We're not going to argue about
this again. I'm right. You scammed him.
I did not.
You scammed. You're a scammer.
You're an
Scammer?
Idiot. You're an idiot.
So yeah, that was the fair. Trying to think if we did anything else of note over the last couple of weeks.
Nope. We ain't done nothing.
Mark's back in school. Mark started 2nd grade last week. The girls will be starting preschool, I think, right after Labor Day. The girls are up to 3-day-a-week preschool now. Full-day preschool, too. I know Scarlett goes to daycare, and the preschool she attends is at her daycare. So she's already there full day anyway.
Yeah,
but
well, hers is only like an hour and a half long.
Oh, is it? Even the 3-day-a-week?
Yeah.
Oh, I was under the impression that a lot of places... So the preschool Livy's going to is either... They have morning, afternoon, and full day. I'm pretty sure Livy's signed up for the full day. I should verify that with her mom, though. I thought she was going full day. But... See, Scarlett, I don't feel like it's going to make a difference whether she's in full day or partial day because she's already used to the hours of the full day anyway, being at daycare. So when she goes into kindergarten, it's not going to be a big shock to her.
The difference is Livy is they're learning all day.
Yeah. But in kindergarten, I feel like there's still plenty of time to play. I feel like they break it up enough that it won't be that drastic of a difference. But yeah, so school. I wish I had more to say about back to school. I was thinking that we could do that as an episode, as back to school, but there's not really much to say about it, you know.
It's not really a big deal, no.
There hasn't been enough going on at the school yet to really commit a full episode to back to school. And honestly, I didn't even do any of the back to school shopping. Mark's mom did, so I mean, I wish I could give you some tips and pointers on back to school shopping.
Wow,
and actually,
those kits
I was going to say that is one thing that I guess is worth mentioning, that a lot of the schools nowadays offer the school supply kits that you can order at the beginning of summer, and then on their first day of school, the kits are just waiting for them on their desk, so you don't have to do any of the shopping. There may be a couple of like specialty items that the specific teachers need that they don't offer in the kits, but for the most part, then you don't have to worry about going and, your kid wants this kind of notebook, but it's $3 more than that notebook, and you want to just get them the cheap one, so you have to fight with them in the store. This way, it saves all that hassle. They just get what they get in the kit, done. You still got to get them a backpack, which I was surprised. We shopped for Mark's backpack, and it was so easy. I thought we were going to be there for a day and a half. Like, Mark, I want this one.
That's exactly what he did, but we told him he either grabs one or we're leaving.
Well, but we didn't have to fight with them about it. Like, that was not what I think you're remembering this different than I am, because I remember we were at Target and I pointed out all the backpacks that were on sale, and I said, you can pick out one of these, and he did, and that was that.
Nope, that's not how it happened at all.
I think she's lying.
We already have established that you don't remember anything.
No, we established that you think I don't remember anything, but just because you say that it happened this way doesn't mean that you're the one that's right. If we both remember it different ways, one of us has,
I'm always right.
One of us has to be wrong. Could be both of us wrong. Maybe we're both wrong. Is the dog stuck down here? Did you close the door upstairs?
Yeah.
Oh. Is that why she's...
I don't know why she's crying. Why do you cry?
I cry. You know what? I didn't cry at Mark's first day of school. I don't think I cried last year either at his first day of school. But, which is surprising. If anybody knows me, I'm a big time sap. I cry over everything.
Everything.
She's not wrong. I'm not hiding it. I know it. I admit it. I get emotional very easy, and I cry very easy. I cried when my mom took me for like my 13th birthday.
Are you seriously going to tell?
Yes, I'm going to tell. Yes, my mom took me to go see the Godzilla movie in whatever year, 1998, 99, whenever that was.
Probably already told the story
with Matthew Broderick. I do tell this story a lot. And there's the part when, at the end of the movie, when Godzilla gets stuck on the suspension bridge, that's like their trap that they set for her. She gets stuck on the suspension bridge, and then they fire a bunch of missiles into her side, and then she's just like laying there suffering on the suspension bridge, and you just like hear her heart stop beating. I cried, man. It's sad.
You're an idiot.
Put your phone down. Be present.
I'm trying to look at what the hours are for all-day preschool. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought that was just like a kindergarten thing.
Well, all I know is I went to Livy's preschool orientation the other day, and they talked about how some of the kids are going to go from, morning till lunch. Some of the kids are going to come in at lunch and stay till the end of the day, and then some kids will be all day.
Scarlett could go.
Yeah, I didn't say she couldn't.
I didn't know that was a thing.
But if her preschool offers, if her daycare offers
there's a
preschool,
difference between her doing preschool for an hour and a half and all day.
You're sure even the 3-day a week is only an hour and a
Pretty
half?
sure, yeah. I'll have to look at that
You
paper.
should find
But
out about that. That seems awful short.
yeah, I know.
Okay,
That's
as
my
long as we're
point.
agreed.
Thanks.
But you know what? She does so good at it anyway. I mean, she's
I'd like to give her the
Livy.
best opportunity I can.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Livy only went to the 2-day a week, I think half day last year, and Scarlett's way ahead of Livy already.
How?
With letters and numbers and stuff, she's good. She's good at that stuff. She has been good at that stuff since they started her there.
Okay.
Livy's getting a lot better at stuff like that. Well, actually, when I was at the orientation, I read a couple of books with her, and she was good at recognizing. One thing that surprised me was the types of animals that she was recognizing. It wasn't just like, this is a cow, this is a horse. What was the animal that really shocked me? Like she knew what a koala was specifically, which
Scarlett knew what like a hippo and stuff like that was.
Oh, man, there was one more in the book that like I was even struggling to figure out what it was, and she remembered right off the top of her head. It was a pleasant surprise. Smart kids. But let's see. So that's our recap, I think. So on to subject. We're at 35 minutes, so don't worry. We don't have to do this much longer. I see you eyeing the clock again.
Dude, when it gets like nighttime, when he forces me to do these things,
No, see.
I am tired.
So here's what she doesn't tell you, though. How many times throughout the week up until we
and
actually
then you
record
forget
do
about
I,
it too.
I don't forget about it. You just don't want to make time for it.
You forget and you don't mention it.
I suggested
like you mentioned
that
we do it over the weekend. I don't remember you mentioning it once over the weekend.
Every single time, like the week before our episode comes out, the weekend before, I always say, "Hey, let's record it this weekend so we can get it out of the way."
And then he doesn't mention it again.
No. She never says yeah. No, she never says yeah. But I got this to do, and I got this to do, and I got this to do.
Which he never helps me with.
The point is, maybe you would actually enjoy doing this a little more if you would put aside some time to do it. Would you quit cutting shit on my table? She's been sitting here for a half an hour with a razor knife, just slicing into my new desk.
Oh, yeah, your new desk.
This is my new desk.
It is not. It's used.
You wouldn't have known it.
You wouldn't have known it.
It looked brand new when I got it down here, and now you're just slicing into the table with the razor knife.
Save me.
And you're cutting up my stickers.
Oh my God. The stickers that you are just...
Talking to the
don't
microphone.
even have enough to hand out, right?
I don't know what you meant by that. Go to bed!
Why don't we have Scarlett come say something?
Scarlett, come here.
It'll be more interesting than what we're talking about.
Well, since Scarlett's out of bed, I guess we can get her in on this. Come here, Scarlett. Come talk for a few minutes. Sit on Mommy's lap.
You want to say something to everybody?
I'm talking to this microphone here. You say hi to everybody? There's nobody else here.
Why are you going to be shy now?
What'd you do today? Did you go to daycare today? Come on, talk.
This is weird. She's usually never shy. Say hi.
You don't want to tell everybody what you had for lunch?
Would you have a brownie or something, you said?
Did you eat a brownie for lunch? Was that a yes or a no? You got to. You got to say yes. You got to talk. Come on. Did you have? Yes. Get your fingers out of your mouth.
Yes.
Why do kids do that when they're like shy? They put their fingers in their mouth.
Because they're doofuses.
Yes.
Yes. What else did you do at preschool today or daycare today?
Play.
Ooh, you don't have to talk that loud. That was really loud.
Play.
Scarlett, for real, don't yell into the microphone.
Play.
You played? What did you play?
Play cars. And we have blocks. And we have 2 blocks. We have a big block and a small block.
A big block and a small block?
Yeah. And then, are these Jacks?
Yeah, those are
Why did they drink him?
because they're silly. She's pointing out all the beers on the table, the empty beer cans on the table that belong to the bassist in my band.
That she, of course, knew whose they were.
Yeah, as soon as she looked
What
at
did
them.
Scarlett ask today when she's grown up if she could have an adult drink?
So when she said a grown-up drink, but she wasn't talking. She said, "Can I have a diet?" Because she heard us both order diets at dinner tonight.
Oh, okay.
That's what I want when I'm a grown-up.
Don't
You want a diet when you're a grown-up?
What did we do after I picked you up from daycare?
Wait. Let's back up to daycare for a second. You told us something pretty interesting the other day. Do you have a boyfriend at daycare? Oh, come on. You can tell me. Nobody's listening right now. It's just me and Mommy with our headphones on.
I want headphones.
Why don't you take Mommy's headphones for a minute? Do you have a boyfriend at daycare?
Yes.
What's his name?
Cooper and Connor.
Cooper and Connor? Is that 2 boys? You have 2 boyfriends at daycare? Mm-hmm. And Cooper's been your boyfriend for a while, hasn't he? Connor's your new boyfriend?
Yep.
Does Cooper know that Connor is your boyfriend too?
No.
No, you didn't tell him?
No.
Ooh, is he going to be mad?
Mm-mm.
No.
He's happy.
He's going to be happy? I hope he is.
He's gonna be happy when Jace had new toys.
Who had new toys?
Jace.
Jace?
Jace is part of my school.
Jace is part of your school, and he had new toys?
He had Scooby-Doo stuff
Scooby-Doo stuff?
from Christmas.
That sounds awesome.
And you talk, Mommy. Now you talk into the microphone and say what you did to work.
I worked today.
Well, what else did you do today after Mommy got you from daycare? Where'd you go?
We went to Great Grand Cutting Hands.
You went to Great Grandma's house?
Didn't.
Yes, we did.
Oh,
No, we didn't.
okay. Well, I guess you didn't go to Great Grandma's then.
Where'd we take the dog?
School.
No, we took her to get her nails clipped.
Yep.
Which, by the way, you can take your animals to the little animal hospital and they'll clip their nails for $5.
$5.
$5?
Yep. And then if we give her, and then I gave her 2 dog treats, like they were like wine, and then they had a big wine, and then a little one, and then another big one, and then another little one, and then her ate it.
Oh.
Eat
What else?
that done.
What else did you do today? Did you go to the park?
Yes, to the new park.
To the new park?
Yep.
I didn't know there was a new park.
It
The
was-
park right down the street from our house, huh?
Nope.
Yeah, I think that's the one you went to. Did you
Nope.
make a lot of friends there?
Yep, I went to that brown guy, and then I had a lot of friends.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. Friends.
Is she being racist already? Or
Yeah.
Friends.
There was
Friends.
stop.
Okay, Scarlett, that's
There
enough.
was one kid at the park when we got there, and he was a black kid.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what she's talking about.
Friends.
Well,
Friend.
she'll learn that it's a faux pas to say stuff like that pretty soon.
Friend.
I guess that brings up an interesting point.
I thought she was gonna say something at the park.
Yeah.
Then I want to talk about.
That's always the fear.
Mommy talks in that one.
No, Scarlett, that microphone doesn't work.
Why doesn't it
That's
work?
always the fear when you take your kids somewhere public.
Yeah, because it's you, Ma.
And not that we're teaching them to be a certain way at all, but growing up in a town like Lowell, they are not exposed to that much.
Have them on now.
You know, their daycares and stuff are, it's, I mean, all white kids, as far as I know. So when they see somebody different, they don't know how to react. So it's honestly shocking to me at this point that they haven't said something, like blurted something out in public in a store or something.
Daddy, I can hear you from
Scarlett
these.
has.
Daddy, I can hear you. Can you hear me from those microphones?
Yes, I can hear you.
I
remember
can
one
hear
time-
you too.
I remember one time we were at Golden Corral, and I think you were still in Louisiana. We went to Golden Corral for somebody's birthday, and then she went up to this black woman, and I can't remember what she said now, but
But
she
friend,
had said something about her skin color, and thankfully the woman laughed it off.
Daddy,
That's always the reaction you hope for.
and Ducky ate my
'Cause-
mommy's fake color candy.
Honestly, kids don't know any better.
No, they don't. I mean, their skin is brown, and that's what she's saying.
Yeah,
Friend is a
but you made
Hey, I call
but he was your
black
friend.
Friend,
Well, you just call them friend, okay?
huh?
You just call them friend, okay?
Friend,
Yeah,
friendy friend,
friendy friend. You made friend at the park.
friend at the park, friends.
You're playing with
Well-
that little girl too, right?
Yeah, I was playing with that little girl with that little baby,
Oh, okay.
and then the little baby can't go down that spinning thing.
Can't go down the spinny thing.
No, it's just really small.
Oh, okay.
Right,
Well,
go to
Scarlett, I think it's time for you to go to bed.
bed. I'll come up there and cover you up in a minute, okay?
Right now.
Thank you for talking to us for a few minutes. We'll be up to cover you up in a few minutes, okay?
I want to talk.
No, me and Mommy need to finish talking, and then we'll come up and cover you up, okay? Oh, hey, there we go. She's scared. Just go get in your bed. You don't have to lay down yet. Just go get in your bed. We'll come up and cover you up in a few minutes, okay? We're almost done. Please. Scarlett, please. Well, do you want to? We can take a quick break. I'll pause it for a minute. All right, we'll be right back. And we're back. So, while Ashley was putting Scarlett to bed, I guess she checked, and Scarlett's preschool is only an hour and a half, which I find that strange.
I know everybody was worried about that.
Who? Well, oh, I thought you were like saying seriously, like people were worried about it, and I was wondering who. But that was sarcasm, implying that you, the listener, don't care about hour and a half preschool.
You're an idiot.
They should, though, because, that's something that now they know to ask for when they're trying to select preschools, daycares for their kids, is how much of the day are they going to spend learning and how much is just going to be playtime and stuff. So that's good to know, and it's good to keep track of what the curriculum's going to be like. And I know it's not much of a curriculum for preschoolers, but, that if you do decide to put them through preschool, it is pretty important to know what they're learning, so you know how much extra work you have to do to get them ready for kindergarten. By the time they finish their second year of preschool, I would hope they're ready for kindergarten. They should be.
Well, I mean, preschool isn't even necessary, right?
No, you don't have to go to preschool, but that's what I'm saying. If you're going to pay for 2 years worth of preschool, they should be ready for kindergarten by the time they're done.
Yeah.
Because there's like kindergarten prep work that you have to do. If the kids don't know certain things or before they get into kindergarten, you're supposed to make sure they know it. And as far as I remember, I don't remember what Mark's was like, but I want to say it's simple stuff like, do they know how to tie their shoes, and do they know numbers up to a certain?
Go into kindergarten, tie your shoes.
I know. When I remember when I went into kindergarten, I had to show them. You had to go in for my kindergarten anyway. I had to go in for like an interview with the teachers, and they asked me a couple of questions. I don't remember what the questions were. I have to assume it was stuff like, can you count to 10, or do you know your ABCs? And then they gave me a little wooden shoe, and I had to show them that I knew how to tie a shoe. Because you think about it, they don't want to be tying kids' shoes out. I mean, if none of the kids in their class,
for?
kids need to learn to tie shoes.
I know, but I mean, it's not like they have to tie kids' shoes all day.
But if parents are sending kids to, like, we send Scarlett to daycare occasionally with laced up shoes. Very rarely now, because she has her poppy shoes they got like the stretchy laces in them, strappies. Yeah. But I don't know. It's important for kids to learn how to tie their shoes, especially by the time they're in kindergarten, so the teachers don't have to do it all day long.
Oh, I don't have time for that.
To teach your kid how to tie a shoe?
Yeah.
Some good parenting.
Oh, hey, man.
Well, then I guess it's a good thing she's in her second year of preschool. Maybe they'll teach her to tie her shoe. Oof. I just ran into the desk. Oof. Well, I was going to get into something else, but we're actually approaching the end of the episode. So,
what was your topic?
Well, I don't want to say now because maybe we can use it for another episode. I was going to talk about birthday parties because Mark's birthday's coming up.
That's such a great topic.
It is. There's 1,000 different things you can do for birthday parties, and I don't know. I just wanted to discuss like birthday parties we've thrown for the kids in the past, and ideas for where to get your decorations, and
dollar store.
See, exactly. This was something I figured you'd be good at talking about because Ashley is really good at birthday parties.
I am not.
Yes, she
I
is.
get some decorations from the dollar
and
store.
I shouldn't even just say birthday parties. She's really good at like seasonal decorations and holiday decorations and stuff. When we were living in the apartment, she had window clings. We still have them in the house somewhere. We just haven't put any of them up yet. There were window clings for every holiday and every season that we would put on the sliding door at the apartment. There was stuff that would go out on the counters for every season and every holiday. And then when the kids' birthdays would come up, there would be streamers, there would be balloons, there would be those spirally hangy things that you hang from the ceiling, and she's good at stuff like that. So that's why I feel like we'll make that an episode coming up soon. Again, ideas for birthday parties. If you don't want to have it at home, where you can take your kids and blah 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 blah. And if anybody listening has birthday party ideas that they want to pitch to other parents, send it to us. We'll do it for our next episode. We'll talk about birthdays. Because by the time we record our next episode, that's what I was about to say. Mark's birthday's coming up in a week and a half. So by the time we record our next episode...
So is Chris's. It'll be in a week from when this episode airs.
Yay.
31st. He's going to be 63.
Man, she's funny, isn't she? But yeah, by the time we record the next episode, we will have already had Mark's birthday party at our house, which we are going out on a limb this year. We have invited Mark's mom to... Oh,
yeah, you never told me. Did she accept that invitation?
Yes. We have invited Mark's mom.
Does that mean she's going to help pay for the bounce house?
Yes. Oh, well, okay. You know what? Since you're bringing up the party stuff now, let's. You want to dig in, or you want to wait for the next episode?
We have like
7 minutes. I think we can knock out a couple birthday party ideas in 7 minutes, right?
No.
Anyway, we invited Mark. So the last couple of years, well, yeah, let's get into it a little bit. The last couple of years, we have done joint birthday parties with her, but they've been like, if people aren't from this, if people from this area, you know what Funflatables is. His birthday parties have been at Funflatables, which is it's a neutral area. If you're co-parenting, it's nice that, it's not at either home. So it's comfortable. It's public. You can have a good co-parenting birthday party there, and your family can sit in one spot, her family can sit in another spot. Or if it's not like that, you guys all just all sit together and have a nice time. And the nice thing about Funflatables, for those of you that aren't familiar, it's just a place where they have like 10 different bouncy houses set up, and you pay a flat rate and the kids can jump for several hours.
But until they have better deals, don't do the party packages.
That's yes, the party packages are a bit of a ripoff. And I hate saying that because I really like the Funflatables business. It's been great since they built them in the area. They have a few of them, and I like the company, but their party packages are a ripoff. And it's not so much that the party itself is a ripoff. So the way the party is designed, it's like a 3-hour party or something. They have 2 hours to bounce, and then an hour in the party room, where you have cake and pizzas, which I think the pizzas are literally just Pizza Hut pizzas. They order you Pizza Hut pizza and bring it in. But then after the cake and stuff is done, they don't want the kids barfing in their inflatables, so the kids aren't allowed to bounce again after you go to the party room. It's just the 2 hours before the party room. You get the party room, and then that's it. You're done. You got to go.
And I feel like you pay more per kid that way.
So what we started doing a couple years ago was there's a McDonald's right next door to the Funflatables in Lowell, or Hebron, I guess it's technically. So we will have all the parents meet us at the McDonald's with their kids. We'll buy Happy Meals for all the kids, and then everybody rides over to the next parking lot and pay for all the kids to bounce, and that's it. Do presents usually at McDonald's, and then the kids just jump until they're done jumping, and the parents take them home one by one, and the party just kind of fizzles out. It's actually a really nice party idea. It's super convenient because there's no setup and no cleanup or anything. It makes for a nice party, but it is a little on the pricey side. I want to say each kid is like $7-8 or something like that.
$8.
And then, plus the cost of a Happy Meal. So depending on how many kids you invite to your kid's birthday party, I mean, you're looking at, easily over $100 if it's just 10 kids.
Mm-hmm. It's like $12 a kid.
This year, I hear Scarlett making a bunch of noise upstairs. This year, we're having the party at our house, and we rented a bounce house, which now that I'm thinking about it, I break down the price of what we pay for the McDonald's and the Funflatables. We're already over that, just renting the bounce house. We're renting a bounce house for our backyard. That's costing us $175 just for the one bounce house. And then probably ordering Pizza Hut or something for the kids when they get here. And plus we're going to have to buy a cake. But yeah, we're doing the party at our house. There's a rental company nearby that does party packages. You can get for $300, you get a bounce house and tables and chairs and a tent or something.
That?
No, because my dad has canopy tents and tables and chairs. If you can borrow tables and chairs and tents from somebody, do it and make everybody sit outside. That's less cleanup you have to do later if everybody's sitting outside. But yeah, so we're doing the party at our house this year because I get Mark on his birthday. Plus, it's Labor Day weekend, and I get Mark on Labor Day. I get both of the kids on Labor Day. So since it's my year, I'm in charge of the party. And I wanted to have it at our house. So we invited Mark's mom, and she's inviting her family. And so
Yay.
We'll see how that goes.
Well, that's going to happen.
Nothing, but we'll see how uncomfortable it gets. And I don't know. Having my ex-wife and her family in our home, it's going to be weird. We can talk about it. It might make for a good episode. I don't know, but I guess we can talk about the birthday party. on the next episode when we record, which gets us almost up to our hour mark. So I would actually love to hear about birthday party ideas from everybody. And I guess on the next episode, we can break it down more in detail, like where we're getting our decorations from and blah, 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 blah. And I don't know if we're baking a cake or if we're buying a cake, but we can talk about that a little bit. We still have details to iron out for Mark's birthday, but I'd like to hear about some kids' birthday parties, things that went right, things that went wrong, things that may have been funny, things that cost too much, things that were surprisingly cheap. Anything you want to throw out there, I want to hear about it. So in the comments section of this episode on Facebook, you can comment and tell us about the birthday parties. You can email us at kidsforsalepodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on all the social medias at Kids for Sale Pod. I still suck at Twitter and I still suck at Instagram, so there's not much content there. And actually, I've been slacking on the Facebook a little bit lately too, just because we've been so goddamn busy with football and soccer, and I haven't had much time to post pictures or post videos or anything like that. But we'll try to get back on that again, and hopefully have some better content for you. I'm going to say it again. I want to hear from everybody. We don't know if anybody's even enjoying this. So I'd like to hear something from you. Please email us, shoot us a Facebook message, comment on our posts. Let us know what you want to hear, what you don't want to hear. In the meantime, check out the other shows on the Journey into Comics Network. JourneyIntoComics.com. Check out. I think that's all I got for now. There's a bunch of shows on Journey into Comics Network. All of them are good. I listen to. There's content every day of the week, so it gives you something to listen to every single day. You can subscribe to their Patreon for a couple bucks and get early access to content, get exclusive episodes for only a couple dollars a month. So, that's something else. There's also a web store now where you can get T-shirts for your favorite Journey into Comics podcasts. Let me get. Oh God, I wish I would have looked this up ahead of time. I'll get the web address for the T-shirts. It's on teespring.com.
Okay, can you stop chewing your gum into the mic?
Yeah, I can't find just the URL, but it is on teespring.com. I'll tell you what, if you're listening to this episode, go ahead and look at our Facebook feed. I will post another link to the Journey into Comics Network web store at teespring.com, where, like I said, you can find Journey into Comics Network T-shirts, you can find Poor Report, you can find Journey into Wrestling, Foodies Watching Movies, Adulting Ain't Easy, and your favorite podcast, the Kids for Sale podcast. We have a T-shirt available on the website. Actually, we will have, I think we're going to have another design up soon that has to do with episode 6, when we were talking about Scarlet swearing and listening to Wu-Tang Clan. I believe there was a T-shirt design that Nate was working on that may go along with those lines. But yeah, grab a T-shirt, support the network, support our podcast, share us to your friends and tell them about our podcast, and then talk to us. Let us know what you want, and we'll talk to you later. I'm really bad at these outros.
Oh my God, you won't shut up.
I got a lot of stuff to plug, and I don't remember all of it. So kind of as I'm plugging the other stuff, stuff pops into my head, and I'm like, oh yeah, and do this too.
Yeah, that's how you sound too.
Seriously, birthday parties. I want to hear all about them. And we'll read some of them next week. We'll talk about some of them next week. If you know me personally, call me and leave me a voicemail. I'll play your voicemail on the podcast, or I'll call you while we're recording the next episode, and I'll Skype you into the show. No, Ashley's getting very impatient. She's got her hands on her headphones
I
already.
have to poo, if you really must know.
Oh, poo break.